Hi everyone and welcome back. I have here the Sepa, I guess. Number 5000, 40 millimeter brass padlock. It's multi-row. There's 5 pins on the right, 5 pins on the left, I believe, and then a couple pins on top. But when I first bought this lock, I thought that they were all active, but they're not. It's just the 5 on the right that are active pins. The others are passive. So a little bit less of a challenge than I originally thought, but still a fun lock. So let's get this in the vise. Here's the key. You can see the cuts. I think I'm gonna have to reposition the camera. Key works. Nice healthy shackle pop there. Come on out. I'm gonna reposition this. Sorry for the shake. Okay, tensioning with a 2mm pry bar in the bottom. And picking with a multi-pick number 4. Yeah, number 4. There's the profile. One is springy, 2 springy, 3 springy, 4 is binding. Got a little bit of plug movement there. 5 is springy. 1 is springy, 2 is binding. A little bit of plug movement. 3 springy, 4 springy, 5 is binding. Tiny bit of plug movement there. Back to 1, springy, 2 springy, 3 springy, 4 springy, 5 is springy. Oh, 4 was binding a little bit. There we go. And it's open. There's the pop. So yeah, there you go. 5 pins, and it was open. It's a little bit disappointing, I have to say. But I was able to gut this one because I wanted to see what was going on inside. So I was able to grub it. Let's take it apart and we'll have a look. I'm going to lock that back up again. Start with chamber 1. Spring. The driver is a standard. Key pin doesn't want to come out. There we go. Key pin is more or less a standard. It has a little lip on the end, probably to keep it from falling into the keyway. I'll just leave the key in there. Actually, no. So that'll put pressure on the springs. Number 2. Spring. Another standard driver. is. Standard key pin. Spring. Standard driver. Standard key pin. Spring doesn't want to come out. There we go. Driver 4 is a standard. Key pin 4 is a standard. I'll give a closer look at this stuff after we've got everything out. Spring, standard driver in 5. Standard key pin. Let's get the plug out. Some kind of interesting stuff going on with the plug and the cylinder to accommodate those passive pins. There's a little spacer I had to make just out of brass rod. And then there's a pin that locks. There it is. Locks the plug into place. And then the plug. Which way are we here? There's the top. Yeah, okay. So we don't lose these pins. There we go. So we can see there's 2 passives on the left rather, and 2 on the top. Let's dump these out. That would be 1, 2, 3, and then I'll just put these over here. 1 and 2. You can see in the plug, nothing fancy going on. There's no milling or anything. There's the slot where the retention pin sits. So normally it would sit like this. And then when you put the key in to turn it, it would act as a stop so it doesn't over rotate. If we look at the tail piece, it's just like the tail piece itself is riveted in to the plug. It's a piece of brass. If we look inside the cylinder, we can see a couple of channels. One at the top there, and one on the left, where those passive pins would sit. Normally at rest, they'd sit inside those channels, and then when the plug is turned, the walls of the cylinder will push those pins deeper into the keyway. So if you have the wrong key in, then the pins obviously will get jammed up and the plug won't turn. So it's a bit of extra security for preventing copied keys from being used, but it doesn't really, they don't do anything in terms of pick resistance. And then further down in the cylinder, or in the body, you can see there's 2 spring-loaded locking pawls. There. That's it. The Sepa 5000 40 mil, picked and gutted. let's get a close-up of the works. So standard pins, standard drivers. See if I can keep this in frame. These top passive pins are much smaller than the side passive pins. Get a little zoom in here. You can see the size difference. And the shoulders on the pins are just to keep them from falling into the keyway. Keep them captive in the plug. Anyway, that's all I have. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.